Heard this beat in my dream.
Hey, how's it going? I'm real excited to introduce a new show called Shooters Shooting the Shit, brought to you by Social Candy. I'm your host, Chef Klugiewicz, and I'm here with Jeremy Baccash.
Yeah, and since it's our first show, we wanted to give you a little explanation of what the show is going to be exactly.
On each episode, we're going to be showing you a specific area that we're going to go to, and we're going to show you a specific technique that we're going to use to shoot. We're also going to be focusing on the gear we're using and why we're using the gear we're using and how to take full advantage of that gear. We're going to be showing you what we shoot, why we shoot, and how we shoot it. We'll then take you back and take you through our Lightroom workflow. We'll be showing you how we edit. We're going to be showing you tips and tricks we use to get from point A to point B. And we're also going to show you how to kind of get that overall feel that you want to get out of every photo you shoot.
So on this episode, I'm going to be walking around with the Sony a7R III and the Sony 7300 lens. And basically what I'm going to be doing is focusing on shooting in reflections, whether that comes from a puddle, a window, someone's glasses, whatever. And from there, I want to pull out all the color in the photo except for that one object that's highlighted in the reflection.
So this is going to be a blast. We're excited to show you what we have coming at you. Stay tuned for more tips and tricks from Shooters Shooting the Shit.
Today, we're out here shooting, we're out here looking for reflections. We're gonna be hitting up some alleys.
We're kind of creeping around Milwaukee, looking through the alleyways, get more the side of Milwaukee that you haven't seen. So yeah, here we go.
So this alley we're about to go to now has a really cool look up. Alley's right behind Lucid, shout out to Lucid. I don't know, it's just got a cool building in the back of it. So yeah, let's go down here and see what we can find. I know there's a couple alleys that just always have water in them. So that's what we're gonna be looking for with the water. This right here is the building I was talking about. It's dope as hell. There's a nice reflection right here off this little Mini Cooper.
Man, that is dope.
Yeah.
What are you shooting at right now?
Right now, my f-stop's at 4.5. My shutter speed, I'm probably gonna move around between like 320 and up pretty much. And then the ISO, I'll keep moving that around depending on the lighting of the situation.
So do you kind of just go around and just take a bunch of shots and kind of figure out what's
I like
working,
playing
what's
with
not
like
working?
different angles. Like right now I'm a little more zoomed in where the only reason you can tell it's shooting off a windshield is because of the wipers in there. Otherwise I can't see anything outside the windshield. It'd be nicer too if that car was directly in the center of that reflection. There's like a little lopsidedness on the left. Oh, I actually like that. So next we're gonna go up to an alley. So hopefully we'll come up on some. I see some up here too. There's a nice little,
Heard this beat.
ooh, there's a big ass puddle up there. One thing too is you always gotta check out different angles because you can look at something and literally move. I'm literally moving this far and it's a completely different look. So with this one, I'm trying to get that crane in focus. So I want to try and get some of that concrete in here, just so you can tell that this is actually, in fact, a puddle. I actually might pose you real quick.
Okay.
So go on the other side of that puddle.
Okay.
And with this one, I'm gonna shoot low. So with this one, I'm gonna have you stand right there and I'm gonna catch the focus real quick and then I'm gonna have you come back and walk through and I'm gonna catch you as you're walking.
So why did you like this photo?
Well, I like, another thing I like to do with reflections is like, so outside of the reflection, I might catch your feet or like some aspect of the photo, a very small aspect, but then in the reflection, you'll get the complete full view of like what's actually happening. So right there, as you can see, I caught your feet, but then you can't see that outside the puddle, but then inside the puddle, I can see your full body and who it is. A chair or a tripod would be nice right now. All right, let's see how it turned out. So with this one, bumping that f-stop up, I was really trying to get everything in focus. So I got the puddle in focus and I got the people walking by.
Pretty dark on my end, but when you're out shooting, like reflections, is it usually easier? Like, what reflections do you look for during the day versus during the night, or it can kind of be anything, or what?
I mean, anything that's really shining and just creating another image. I'm like always extremely aware of reflections.
So you usually have good luck with either at night or day shooting reflection stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. So like at night, you obviously are gonna need light for something to show up. So like in a puddle, you're gonna need street lights, car lights, just something to like illuminate that puddle.
Yeah.
During the day, you can kind of catch them whenever. But yeah, at nighttime, you most likely need some type of lighting to get it going.
Do you always have, so when you're shooting all this stuff, like reflections, just in general, do you have like your post process in mind? Like you envision the photo looking different than you shoot it? Because you know how you're going to edit it?
Yeah, yep. And there's certain stuff that like, I'll just know is going to be a black and white photo. There's certain stuff that's going to be in color. All right, so what I like about this alley, number one, you see all those puddles there. What I like about those is they're like, it's not one big puddle, there's three of them, but you still get that full building in the three of them.
The lens that you chose to use today, like, what's kind of your favorite thing about using and shooting with that lens?
I like being able to snipe with this lens. I love shooting people when they have no idea I'm shooting them. And this one really, this is a 7300, this one really allows you to get up in people's business, even if you're not right by them. What is going on here? Someone's got to go make a move. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, this long lens.
Yeah, so yeah, about that long lens, like, you said you like sniping?
If we're going around and shooting alleys like this, it's like the alleys are so long that like, I wish this lens was a little wider, because when you're in an alley, you like to get the full perspective of like what's surrounding you, but this also allows you to really like be at one end. If I want to shoot someone walking by and get close on them, I can very easily do that with this. All right, so the Fister on this side over here has got a ton of windows.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm pretty close on this window, so I'm looking at all these buildings behind me. So that red building, that white one down the road. There's a lady right now that I'm trying to catch.
In the red?
Yeah, and I'm trying to catch her as she like hits a source of light. So with these windows right here, what I'm gonna do is put my camera right up on the window, right up on it. And this one doesn't work as well because it's got these little dividers on the windows.
Oh yeah, they're not long.
And this one I'm gonna bump my my aperture up.
Oh man.
So now I'm gonna come a little further off the window. I love a good taxi reflection. I call it for selective color.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit it. I got the shots I wanted.
All right, so we're going through the photos here. Jeremy's just about to kind of dive in, and he just imported the photos, and he's going to go through and figure out which one he's going to edit for the day.
All right, so my first step, go to import the photos. After that, I always just, I star all the ones I like. I come back to them. I think the photo I want to edit for this episode is going to be, we were right outside the Fister, and I used the windows from their diner there to catch a reflection of a building in the background and then also this taxi cab. And this taxi is going to be the color that I'll be highlighting. There are some down here and over here. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that yellow in or pull that out, but this is going to be the main focus of the photo. So let's get into it. First thing you always got to do, straighten your photo out. It drives me nuts when I see people with their photos that aren't straight.
So what are you looking for? How are you selecting the angle that you want it to be at?
So basically I try and find some straight lines. So these are obviously the most prominent lines in the photo. So I go off of those. You can do it when you go into the crop tool in Lightroom, which is right here. You can hit auto, which moved a little bit, or you can just take this and kind of do it manually. A nice little trick too, if you are doing this, if you're using the arrows up and down, hold down shift and it'll jump 10 spots instead of just one. So again, I'm gonna just hit auto real quick. It's a really nice, easy tool. There's a lot of lines in here, so it'll pick it up fine. hit enter, you're good to go. All right, and then from there, I'm gonna kind of just get this photo right a little bit. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the exposure, I'm gonna turn it up a tiny bit, turn down the highlights a little bit. I always like a lot of shadows in my photos, so I'll turn those down. With a photo like this, kind of what I have in mind, I think I'm gonna be lowering the blacks a little bit. And again, we can always come back to these afterwards because you really don't know what you're gonna get until you actually get in there and start messing with the color. I'll bump the clarity up a little bit. I really like doing that when I'm doing selective color photography. I don't know why, but it just makes the object pop a lot more. Let's see, I'm gonna go to the curve here. And I'm gonna bring these shadows up a tiny bit. Okay, so I think I got kind of to where I want to be. Again, I'm going to be going back after like everything is in black and white and then I have that selected. So there's a couple different ways you can do selective color. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to this saturation tool down here, and I'm going to turn down, take out all the colors I'm not using. So green, aqua, blue, purple, magenta, red. And then I'm going to turn that yellow up a little bit since I'm going to be highlighting this taxi cab. Yellow and orange, you always kind of have to mess around with those two. As you can see, bringing that orange just makes that color pop a tiny bit more. So we have that. I'm going to go back up here and turn the vibrance up a little bit just to get a little more yellow. And then another thing you can do too is mess with the temperature a little bit. So since I am editing something yellow, I really want it to pop. So I'm about to make that that temperature a little warmer on the photo. So once I do that, I go to this adjustment brush tool up here, and as you can already see, I take all you keep everything at 0 except for the saturation. You want to turn that all the way down. Basically what that's going to do is anything that you mouse over, it's going to take the color out completely. And since the yellow is turned up, sometimes I might have to go over these like 2 times. Just because when you boost the color that much, it might stay in there a little bit. So I'm going to get into it. As you can see, some of that orange and yellow is still staying a little bit back there. But basically, I want to go over this entire photo so I have no color kind of popping through. So as you can see, I've gotten everything right around the car. Now I kind of want to get it in a little closer to the car so that I can just literally take out all this yellow back here and really have that yellow of the taxi cab is the only color in this photo. So a little trick I'm going to show you right now is using this auto mask feature in the adjustment brush tool. So as you can see, I got in pretty close here, but it's tough to kind of get that perfect line sometimes. So what this auto mask feature does is it'll pick up on lines and it will basically just select certain areas of the photo that the brush is going to be used in.
Yeah, it pretty much selects, it takes out the color you don't want. As long as it has a strong contrast, it'll pull out only that part.
Yep. As you can see, I'm going over the car right now, but it's not pulling out any color from there. So as you can see here, there are some times where you accidentally go over and you take out color that you didn't want to take out. So all you have to do for that, first you want to select the mask that you make that mistake with. And then once you do that, you want to hit erase. And all that will do is basically take what you did and reverse it. So as you can see, this color's coming back in real nice. And you can always hit that O just to kind of get a better idea of what you just went over. And you know what? I might hit this right here too, because I want that sign to be all the same color. So as you can see, that yellow really makes this photo pop. The thing I really like about this photo too is that you can't see this car on the other side of the photo. So I love that like all this glass is in here. It takes up 80% of this photo. It really just makes for a cool photo. And that's something I'll do a lot with reflections too, is I will keep what's in the reflection in color and everything outside of it with no color. It works really well too if you're just trying to highlight one specific object. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this photo, how it turned out with the color and everything. I might even boost this clarity up a little bit. Again, Let me turn it down real quick and just show you kind of what that does to the car. So as you can see here, it pops because of the color, but if you take this up, it really brings out that car and gives it some depth. That's my quick and dirty version of selective color editing in Lightroom. I want to thank you guys for watching this, and stay tuned for some more episodes coming up.